Yo, what it is, what it ain't. It's your brother, J International, tapping back in once again. I know it's been a while, but the last 3 months, I was tied up in a big investment in myself, a major investment. You know, I made a major investment, and what do I mean by that? What I mean by that is I invested some money in myself to better my opportunities to make more income, to get myself more skills that will make me more marketable and more sought after, and a skill that would enable me to be anywhere in this world and still make money remotely, because I've been out of the country for a few months and now back in the States, and watching from abroad I could see how crazy the States were becoming, how crazy it was in the States just watching from afar. But now that I'm back, I can really see firsthand that people out here are losing their mind, man. It just seems like the energy in the air is that just people are losing their mind. People are frustrated or angry, just impatient, just a lot of craziness, a lot of madness that I'm witnessing since I've been back, and that I seen before I left for overseas. But back to this investment in myself thing, because I don't want to get too far off the topic. The investment that I made in myself was for one of these coding boot camps. And to give you a little history about this coding boot camp, I first got hip to this coding boot camp about 2.5 years ago. About 2.5 years ago, I got hip to this coding boot camp. And, I was like, okay, coding boot camp, it seems like a good, opportunity, given that now this is a tech economy, and especially being in the Bay Area. Tech companies are out here, a majority of them are out here, and they rule the economy, and the people that make the most money here in the Bay Area, other than health professionals, are like doctors and nurses, are tech people. So I was like, you know what? I started to look into it. But the price point just wasn't enough for me. I want to say 2.5 years ago, the price point wasn't enough to convince me to do it. It was $11,000 back then, 2 years ago. So I just said, you know what? I filled out the application, but I was like, I just kept going back and forth with these recruiters and administration of this boot camp. And so, I'm like, okay, man, nah, that's too much right now. It's a bit too much for me. Let me just keep doing what I'm doing. Plus, what I was doing was good. I was making money. I was traveling. I was able to do what I wanted to do. So, I didn't have a sense of urgency, right then and there. I didn't have a sense of urgency, So I just said, I'm just gonna continue, doing what I'm doing. So over the course of those 2 years, I would constantly see emails from this boot camp telling me, spam emails, advertisement emails telling me, sign up, change your life, change your career, change your future. And like I said, I was cool, I was comfortable, because everything was going well and I was making money. So like I said, over the years, I would keep getting emails from this boot camp telling me to sign up, and I would still consider it, but like I said again, the price just wasn't enough for me to pull the trigger. So fast forward 2020, damn, the pandemic hit. Everybody has been affected. Everybody is affected. And I'm like, man, and you know, everybody's been affected. Everybody was affected. And what I was doing was affected in a major way. You know, what I was doing to make my money, being a independent contractor, you know, working for myself, was thoroughly affected. It was almost shut down to where the point I was like, damn, I had to figure out something else. And so, you know, I just got on my hustle and got on my grind, but I'm just, you know, I got tired of just doing this, you know, constantly have to work 16 hours a day. So, yeah, so I seen that email from the boot camp. And this was, I want to say, this was like, wow, like, I guess when the pandemic was like really at its highest point. And I was like, man, I need to do something. You know, I can't keep doing this. I was just thinking about what can I do? What opportunities can I do? I need to do something. I can't do this hustle what I'm doing forever. I want to put myself in a position to be financially free, but also I want to put myself in a position that if I need to get out of the United States, I can, and still make United States of dollars. So I started to I seen that boot camp, and I just started to really strongly consider it. I really started this time to strongly consider it. But at this point, the camp was $12,000, so the price had risen $1,000. Oh, another thing I want to note: one of the reasons why I didn't sign up for the boot camp at the time, like 2 years ago, when it was $1,000 less, because they required me to come into the college. So it wasn't online, so it was part online and part in person. And so I'm like, you know, I don't really want to be, you know, I want if I'm going to do something, I want it to be online. So going back, fast forward, pandemic, everything's online, you know, from online school, from children being in online school, Zoom meetings, all that, everything is online now. And so now this boot camp was totally online. I'm like, bam, this is perfect. You know, but the price point, so it was $12,000, so I had to think on it. I'm like, man, should I do this? So I took about a month for thinking. You know, I filled out the paperwork, but I took about a month for thinking. And I was doing this thinking while I was overseas. And so, you know what, I said, you know what, I need to do something. I went ahead and I invested, man. And I entered into the boot camp. Now, keep in mind, there's thousands of boot camps offered by thousands of universities all across the United States. I chose the UC Berkeley one. So I invested in it. I was like, bam, you know, they guarantee within, I took the speed one. So they guarantee within 3 months, they're going to have you a full stack MERNS developer. I'm like, I need this one. I need these skills fast so I can get into this market and start making shit happen. And so I did it, right? And let me say, man, I'm gonna give you guys a warning. If you have zero coding experience, zero, or very, very little coding experience, I would not suggest going into a boot camp. I would suggest you getting some coding skills on your own, learning basic HTML, CSS, basic JavaScript to advanced JavaScript. Once you got a good grasp on those things, then enter a boot camp. But to enter a boot camp with none of those skills, I will highly suggest against it, because the pace at which these boot camps go, and they're trying to teach you full stack MERNS. That I entered the MERNS one. It's the pace at which they are going within that 3 month span. It is almost impossible for you to learn all that they're throwing at you if you have no experience in coding. And I did that, and you know, like I said, I had no experience in coding. I did that, and it turned out disastrous for me, because I was constantly When you learn one thing, they throw another thing at you. When you learn another thing, they throw another thing at you. When you learn another thing, they throw another thing at you. And these boot camps know that, but they will try to sell you a dream. They try to sell you a dream because they want that money. If they get multiplied, now look at this, 12,000 times 20 students. That's a lot of money, right? So they want that bread. They want that bag. So they're going to sell you a dream and tell you, oh, we can make you a full stack developer within 3 months. It is highly unlikely. The only people that were successful in that class were people that had experience. Everybody else struggled like hell. And you constantly had to do homework, and you constantly had to do projects. And I want to say this to you. If you're considering these boot camps and you have no experience, strongly think about it. Strongly think about it. With that being said, this is your brother Jay International tapping back in once again. I know it's been a while, but I'm going to be consistent. I'm going to get back on it now that I'm out of that boot camp and I had some type of free time, because I literally had no free time in that boot camp. I mean, I was studying for 10, 12 hours a day in addition to being in a class for 4 hours a day. So now that I have some free time, I'm going to be more consistent. So like I said, brothers, strongly consider, or anybody else, females as well, consider getting into these boot camps, because if you have zero experience, it's going to be very, 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 very difficult for you. So with that being said, like, share, and subscribe. I'll holler at y'all later. Peace.